Alright folks, we're out for another night, and this is our second many-banded crate of the evening. The first one was off the side of a path and got away too quick. This one's making its way up as well. Let's see if I can get a better vantage point on it here. There he is. So yeah, we're kind of maybe just starting our trip here. And so far it's been many bandeds, but it's just getting to the good part of the night, so hopefully there'll be more out. And I'm on kind of a stream walk right now, so I'm going to keep going here and see if I can't find something cool. But yeah, always fun to see the many bandeds. If they're out on the hunt, it means that arguably other snakes are around too.
The smell.
Yeah, it's very stinky.
Yeah.
Not so bad though, some are much stinkier.
Yeah.
Alright everyone, we've got our next find here. There's another group of herpers that have come through the river walk, and one of them grabbed this juvenile striped stream snake. This is probably one of the smaller ones I've seen, and he's a little bit stinky right now. So these are a pretty common species around here, and we've seen them a lot on the vlog, so I won't spend too much time. But they're a heavily keeled stream snake, so they really like living in clear, fast-flowing water. They like cooler temperatures, and you can see here the reason for their namesake. They're actually, especially as juveniles, quite obviously striped. So, cool find. That's the second species for the night. Hopefully there'll be more than that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and let this guy go. You can see maybe the ventrals there, semi-translucent. But yeah, we'll go ahead and let him go in the water here and see what he does. Straight into the deep water. All right, cool find. Let's keep it going, see what else we can get. Hello everyone, we're out for another night of herping, and we've got our first snake of the evening. In this case it's another roosting greater green. So this is pretty common sighting these days on the vlog, which is not necessarily a bad thing. They're really great snakes, but it's just the start, so we're hoping that we'll be able to get something else tonight. And if we manage to do so, we'll pop back on and let you guys have a look. Alright folks, got our next snake, and it's an oldie but a goodie, the many-banded crate. And this one is slowly hunting through the leaf litter here. I'd say this is a smaller sized adult, pretty standard looking, and I can't tell if it's actually hunting or if it's got something in its mouth, but not moving too much right now. Anyways, a little bit slow going so far, but we still got a ways to walk before we're done, so keep an eye out and check back in if we come up with anything else. Alright everyone, we have got a really cool find tonight. This is a snake that's actually quite difficult to find in Hong Kong, and for those of you who watch the vlogs more regularly, you might be a little bit concerned to see me holding this, because it's probably the closest mimic to the many-banded crate that we have in Hong Kong. But this is actually our third species of wolf snake here, the banded wolf snake, Lycodon subcinctus. And these, unlike the other two species that we've seen on the vlog, as I mentioned, are quite difficult to find. But you can see here the bands and coloration look a lot more like a many-banded crate. But if you look close you'll see that the bands are actually quite widely spread, and they actually disappear on the second half of the snake. You can also see here the ventrals are pure white. The bands don't wrap around at all, which is another telltale sign. And of course, the most telling is the vertebral scales, so the scales that run down the ridge of the spine. They're uniform in size to the scales on the rest of the body. So that's really the main way to tell the difference between the wolf snakes and the crates. Like I just said, morphologically there are some other ways to determine with this one, but none of them are safe enough to go by religiously. Certainly nowhere near as safe as using the scales on the spine. And these guys are also a little bit less likely to bite, like the footsings and the common wolf snakes. And their musk is also quite a bit less pungent than some of the others, especially the footsings has a very pungent musk. And these banded wolves actually aren't very strong at all. So really, really cool snakes. Like I said, very difficult to find. This is actually the fourth that I found. I found 2 juveniles and 1 quite large adult that was probably 2 or 3 times the size of this one, with even more faded bands. But this is, I would call this a sub-adult, but it's already exhibiting adult coloration, where you can see on the juveniles the bands are actually very, very stark black and white, and they actually go all the way down to the tail. And here you can see on this one, the tail is completely absent of any banding at all. There you can see there. All the bands fade out on the tail by the time they get to sub-adult size. So really fantastic find. Unfortunately, I've had to hold him to show you because he's right next to a wall with a lot of crevices, and he'd be able to get away quite quickly, which we're going to let him do in short order anyhow. But after we stopped, he was actually up on the wall, so we were actually able to get very close and look in great detail at the body and the spine and the scales before we actually determined it was okay to handle. And even then, I would say this is still a relatively risky behavior and not something I'd recommend to people. And I know it's always a bit hollow to say, do as I say, not as I do. But in this case, you know, a mistake in the wrong direction of a many-banded crate, that is, would not be a good one to make. So don't recommend it, but I am happy to have been able to spend the time properly identifying this so I could hold it and give you guys a good look. There's a beautiful look at the head. Look at that. What a great snake. So yeah, this is the banded wolf snake, the rarest of the 3 wolf snakes that occur in Hong Kong, at least rarest locally here, and a new species for the vlog. We'll go ahead and take a few shots of this guy and then let him get on his way. Alright folks, we got our next snake. This is another many-banded crate. And this one is right on the edge of the trail on the hunt. A little bit difficult to get it to focus through these grass blades. There he goes. Yeah, second one of these for the night. Definitely one of our more common species this year, which is pretty cool considering how intense a snake they are when it comes to the venom. Yeah, this one's on the hunt, so we'll leave it be. Keep on going. Check back in if we find something else. Alright everyone, we're out for another walk and bumped into another group of herpers, and they stumbled across this cool little black phase burrowing rufus snake right along the road. So I guess lucky that he was found by them. That way we can move him off the road once we're finished filming here. But we've seen lots of these on the vlog this year, so I won't get too deep into it. But these are a fossorial / subfossorial species that for whatever reason has turned up quite a bit this year. And they're generally found in two color phases, this darker black phase and a pretty vivid gold phase. But you can see here, pretty diminutive snake. I would say this is maybe subadult size. They do get a bit bigger than this, but not too much before they're full grown. So yeah, cool find. We're still early in the night, so hopefully there's more to come, but very cool that these folks were willing to share their find with us. I'll check back in if we find something else. Alright everyone, we've got our first snake on a early morning walk, and it's been a pretty slow walk so far. Maybe not going to be too productive a day, even though it feels quite good out. But we've got here one of our more common finds in Hong Kong. This is the Redneck keelback, and this is a juvenile. We've seen a lot of these before on the vlog, and they're always nice to see. They've got really, really beautiful coloration, clear delineation between head and neck with that gray color head and that really distinct collaring, the black and the yellow trailing off into the red. Here, this guy's getting a little bit defensive. He's flattening his neck just a touch, but he's super tiny. Oh, there he goes. And I'm going to leave him be. He's a really little one, and I don't want to stress him out too much, so we won't bug him too much. He's actually going behind my backpack here. And in his hole he goes. Well, anywho, we'll get back to it, and we'll check back in if we see something else, though not really sure how that'll play out today. It's been pretty slow so far. Alright folks, we're out for another night, and the first snake we've come across here, actually the second, we found a juvenile redneck keelback earlier, but it got away in a crevice. But the first snake we found here, oh, death roll, hold him loosely, is a diamondback water snake. So we've seen these recently. Let me see if I can, there we go. We've seen these recently on the vlog, so I won't spend too much time, but these are a water snake, heavily keeled body, fully aquatic, beautiful coloration. You can see here the heads are this reddish brown color, and they've got this greenish neck with reddish markings that kind of run the length of the body. And they've got these beautiful ventrals where the bands wrap all the way around the bottom, and they're a little bit aggressive, as most water snakes are, but not too bad. So we'll go ahead and let this guy go here, but pretty cool find early in the evening. No, we'll go the other way, buddy. Go the other way. Well, he might hang out for a minute. Now go the other way. There he goes. Alright, check back in if we find something else. Alright, our next snake is a mountain water snake. Another Cyanonatrix. This is one of the other species of pure water snakes here in Hong Kong. And this is a subadult. Still got some pretty markings. And away he goes. Very cool. We're gonna keep going, see what else we can find. Okay, we've got our next snake of the evening. He's on a ledge, and this time it's a Footsing's wolf snake. This is a mimic of the many-banded crate. We've seen these before on the vlog, so it's not too big a deal if we don't get a great look. Maybe I can tag another video where we've got one here. But pretty cool. Snakes are on the move tonight. Alright, we've got our next snake. This is a beautiful little mock viper. And we've seen these before, and recently we saw one that had this similar color phase. It's a burnt orange top and bright yellow ventrals. And it's just hanging out, sleeping on a plant here. And we've got a pretty cool find, because right next to this plant there's another mock viper, similar color phase, also just roosted up for the night. So pretty cool find. Give us a sec, we'll walk over to the other plant and show you that one. And here is the second mock. Very cool. A little bit bigger than the other one. You can see here its body's all stretched out across the plant. Slightly more faded color on this one as well. Some cool lateral striping though. And a very good find for us. So it's quite a few snakes already tonight. We're going to keep going and see if we can find some more. Here's one more look at this mock from overhead. And yeah, good sized mock viper. Not going to do any more filming. I don't want to scare him off his leaf. But cool and welcome find, as always. Okay, so literally right next to those mock vipers sleeping on the leaves was this little redneck keelback, also sleeping on a leaf. Really pretty specimen. I think this is the third one I've seen today, so I won't spend any more time on it, but great to see. Really lovely. Alright, we have our next snake. Right next to that redneck keelback was this pretty little subadult mountain water snake, Cyanonatrix pericarnata. And he's moving around a bit, so he's not going to let me show you his head too well, but there you go. And they're actually, whoa, common, but you know, I guess when they get older they can be a bit drab, but they're kind of nice looking when they're small like this. And when they're even smaller, they've got nice red banding on their side and everything, so pretty cool snakes actually. Anywho, we'll let this one go and check back in when we find something else. Alright, we got our next snake. This is a mock viper up on a plant on this wall, and it's a pretty brown color one. So we'll leave it here, let it get some rest. And that's mock viper number 3 for tonight, one of my favorite species. This is very cool. We'll check back in if we get something else. So a bit hard to film through the brush here, but there's another baby redneck keelback curled up and sleeping for the night. So I guess this is number 3 or 4 of these for the day, so we won't dwell, but another cool find. Check back in with the next one. Alright, we've got another snake, and probably our last for the night. We're on our walk out, but this will be lucky number 14 for the evening. And this is a white-spotted slug snake. One of the more common snakes to find here in Hong Kong and been featured on the vlog many times. So this one's just out on the crawl on the side of a road here. So we'll leave it alone and let it get on with its hunt. But pretty solid night. I guess we'll check back in if we find anything else, but like I said, on the walk out, so don't expect to.